Today's video is number 8 in the beginner's guide, and it was going to be the last in the series featuring the skew chisel. However, as a result of some comments and suggestions I had, namely from Robbie the Woodturner, who is a subscriber, friend and mentor of mine, and also from a subscriber called Russ Barber regarding the Negative Rake Scraper. I've been looking at it, looking at that sort of a grind for quite a while now, but never actually sort of taken the plunge, as it were. And to be quite honest with you, I can't understand why, because it is a phenomenal bit of kit once you've reground it. Now, I spent the last day or so experimenting with different angles and so on, and I've come up with what suits me, and it'll be a starting point should you wish to venture into grinding your scraper or scrapers into this configuration. It's not a difficult job, and the results are really quite stunning. And in fact, I've ground all my scrapers barring 2 with a negative rake, and I did a lot of research on YouTube, and as I say, I've used quite a bit of aluminium oxide, not too much steel, but quite a bit of aluminium oxide in experimenting with various grinders. So this is what I've come up with. I'd like to also give a shout out to Sam Angelo, the Wyoming Woodturner. Sam is a very experienced turner. He's been turning for a number of years, I believe something in the region of 30 years, and he has got some great videos out there, and his thread chasing videos are in my opinion, the ultimate on thread chasing. So if you want to get into thread chasing, go to Sam's channel. I'll put a link down below, as I always do, and I strongly urge you to have a look. Everything from, as I say, thread chasing, bowls, shear scraping, boxes and finishes. If you want to have a good library to have a look at, visit Sam's channel. So that's Sam Angelo, the Wyoming Woodturner. I will go over to the lathe now, and we'll have a look at the Negative Rake Scraper. And there is the shallow bevel, and there is the lower bevel. Now, through much experimentation, and again I say I would like to hope that some people can put some suggestions in if there's a better combination of angles. That angle is 70 degrees and the top angle is 30 degrees. It's difficult, possibly, I don't know if you can just about see it. I'm trying to fiddle with the camera here. So you can see the configuration that I've got. Now, I'm absolutely amazed at how this works. I've done it on that gouge there, on that scraper there, on my flat scraper, exactly the same. Again, 70 degrees and top bevel of 30 degrees. And this obviously then is your cutting edge. And I've even done it with great effect on my heavy duty 70 degrees and a top bevel of 30 degrees. Now, it must be said that the edge lasts approximately a minute or so, I should think, which for most situations won't be enough, but again, simply by going over with a diamond credit card, diamond hone, on this bevel to create the burr, or you can have a quick visit to the grinder and just touch up this bevel here. Obviously, after time, as you start to remove more steel, whether it be with the diamond hone or with the grinder, the top bevel is going to get reduced and reduced. So every now and again you'll have to regrind the top bevel. But it's not a great problem, and in actual fact, I mean, however far back or how small this top bevel is, I can't see any problem with that, as long as there is a top bevel which is going to create your cutting edge. Again, any comments to the contrary would be welcome, because this is a bit of a learning curve for me as well. So that's the way that I've ground those. I've also done it with my smaller scraper, exactly the same thing. I will keep that scraper traditional, and also the square end scraper for doing my mortises, etc. I will keep that the standard grind, if you like, just the one bevel. Okay, I'm using the same bowl as I did on the last video, because it's got, the reason the red circle is there, it is very, very thin from the centre to there, so I don't want to be touching this. I have it in expansion mode, so it's actually being supported by the thicker wood here. The Negative Rake Scraper, as I showed you, is, and we'll start with the small one. Now the reason I've ground it completely around is it gives you more edge to work with. You lower the tool rest with this and the bevel, and then you raise, so you want the tool rest just below centre, or you want your tool units on the bevel. Sorry, I beg your pardon, just above centre when you're, so that's there. So what you do with the Negative Rake Scraper is that you actually raise the handle. Now what I've done here, I've made some fairly deep lines here, and I've highlighted them with pencil so we can see the sort of result that we get with the tool rest, the tool handle down, rubbing that bevel. So rub the bevel, lift the tool handle until you start to get a cut. Now you can immediately see the shavings that we're getting. It is easier to use, I feel, than the scraper. You're not pointing your tool down, and you have a lot of control, and the finer shavings can be obtained by using less pressure. There is absolutely, I mean, this is cedar, so there are parts of the grain which are a little wide grain, if you like, but there is absolutely no tear out on there at all. You can quite happily start at 220, 240. Now if I use the heavy bowl scraper that I've got, same situation, just have to lower the tool rest a little bit because it's much thicker stock, and because of its weight you're getting more control. Now, very fine cut. Look at those shavings, absolutely superb, and a really, I hope the camera does show this, a really, really nice smooth surface, and all the tool marks gone. Now the same thing applies to the inside of a bowl. You want to shear scrape here. As I say, that red mark is to warn me not to start anything there. So I've put a few well, very deep marks there, and I've highlighted them with pencil, and we'll get rid of those now. Again, handle down and then bring your handle up until you start to get a cut. Beautiful fine shavings. And it is much easier to control. And that is really, really smooth. As I apologise, I can't go down to the base of the bowl, but again, the same thing would apply there, and you can get a really nice smooth transition, and again, no tear out. So from the edge of the red ring to here is ready for sanding. And it's not just the shear scraping aspect of this, which I find incredible. It's the fact that just for ordinary scraping operations that you're going to do, why not use it? Why not do this? Because it's, as I say, I find easier to control than the scraper. And to go to the edge of the bowl, the revs are around 1400 revs. I'll tell you what we'll do. This is the other scraper that I have. Again, present the bevel, lift the handle. I mean, you wouldn't be using a negative rake scraper essentially to get rid of tool marks of this depth, but the work would be a lot finer. So what I'm trying to show you is the really good finish that you get, and you can work it both ways. A really, really good finish. There's a lot of playing about to be done, experimenting for yourself what you think works for you the best. But my advice, give it a go. Put that top bevel on, get yourself a negative rake situation and practice with it. And as I say, as opposed to the ordinary scraper, you're approaching the work, in my opinion, at an easier angle to control. And the reason, I mean, this bowl, I just practice on it and I really enjoy it. I mean, obviously, if you want a more aggressive cut, you lift the handle a bit more. And if you start to get a little bit dull, like there, just use another part of the blade. That's why I ground this one completely around, because I've got 4 or 5 areas I can use before I have to just touch it up either with a diamond stone or the grinder. See, this piece here hasn't been used, completely fresh and very, very keen edge. And then this piece here, this part is completely fresh again, so I can just do the finishing cut. I think you get the idea. And as I said, and I've said before, sharpening is not a problem. You just want to bring the burr back again. You don't have to worry with the top bevel. Either a diamond stone or a quick flick around the grinder, no problem at all. Well, I hope this has been useful, and it's certainly opened my eyes to what I've been missing out on. Give it a go, and let me know what you think. Well, thanks very much for watching. The next video will be the last in the series. It'll be number 9 on the skew chisel, which should be fun, and I look forward to seeing you then. Thanks very much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Cheers now.